It's the ultimate travel guide from the people who know it best. Weekends with Yankee. We make our way north to beautiful Hartford, Vermont. Here we find Gesine Bullock-Prado, baker, cookbook author, and star of the Food Network show Baked in Vermont. She also runs her own baking school here, Sugar Glider Kitchen. Gesine settled here after leaving a career as a successful movie producer in Hollywood, where she worked with her sister, Sandra Bullock. Now she's found her true calling and home in New England, in a former tavern built in 1794.
I fell in love with Vermont when my husband took me to New Hampshire, of all places, for a football game. He went to Dartmouth College. And then he drove me across a Ledyard Bridge, which goes across the Connecticut River into Vermont. And I sat up a little, I went, wait, it feels different. This feels like home. And to me, it felt a little like my childhood in Germany and my other part of my childhood in Virginia, in that I love being around the mountains, but the small towns, you can see that church steeple as you crest a hill. I was like, this is it. This is where I want to live. Amy, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. I'm sorry it's so cold.
Well, I have to say, looking at this place, I mean, if you were looking for a New England experience when you moved here, you have got it with this space.
And then there's cake inside.
That's so great. Well, let's go make cake.
We are making a cake I developed. It is both American and German. So it has this lovely streusel in the middle, and then in the middle of those layers, I put German chocolate cake filling because, I mean, come on, get over it. It's delicious.
That's so cool.
And then outside caramel buttercream because more caramel, more better. I just butter the bottom of the pan.
Okay, I'll do that. Now, you talked about your German background. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, my mom was German. She was a great baker. And we would spend half of the year in Germany. So I have kind of the German cake culture in my blood.
Right.
And I have American Oreos streaming through my system as well. This is a combination of granulated sugar,
okay,
brown sugar, and some maple sugar.
Ooh, nice. Maple.
We are in Vermont. So while we wait, we can start cracking eggs. So a nice firm whack on the table, and then you got your egg.
Okay, so I've got all the eggs in here now.
So this is looking much better, right? Fluffy, lighter, and we can add our first egg.
Oh boy, okay. Now, outside of the kitchen, are you a patient person?
No.
So this is good discipline for you.
Well, this is what I love about baking, is that in order to do it right, you have to be patient. Mm-hmm. But in being patient, you are giving yourself a gift. It's almost meditative. And a lot of people will laugh. It is scientifically shown to be a stress reducer, to be meditative, to have all those things. I would rather do this than sit and meditate any day, and the smells are better. Now it's time to add the flour mixture and our buttermilk mixture. Create a funnel. I can even turn on the mixer.
Is this how you do it?
Yes, I create a funnel. So if you hit the paddle as it's going, you're not going to harm anything.
Right.
And you're actually going to get in the bowl because more often than not, I'm ready to put my batter in the cake pan, and then I look down behind the mixer. I'm like, oh, half of my flour is on the bench. We're just going to eyeball this because we're being a little crazy today.
Okay.
This is how I go crazy.
We're going wild.
This is what happens when you live in Vermont. You go crazy by not weighing your batter.
So we're just trying to get an
even layer. This is the streusel, which is toasted pecans, some brown sugar, and some cinnamon, just in a food processor.
Yes.
For the top bit of batter, I put it into a piping bag. This is kind of a way of making sure that you don't pick up the streusel when you put the top layer on.
How much does being in Vermont inspire your baking?
So much. It is such a pleasure being around so many local artisans, farmers, cheesemakers. Seeing these gorgeous ingredients and using them every day makes baking more of a joy than it already is.
That's
great. And now into the oven.
Yay.
350, depending on your oven,
right,
for about 30 to 35 minutes.
Okay. So these have been baked.
And cooled.
Okay, so what's the next step?
Turntable, very important. Caramel buttercream, and also our German cake.
Filling. So these, I am noticing how nice and even these layers are.
Like before with the batter, I use a piping bag to pipe my buttercream. I first pipe around the perimeter of the first layer. And the filling that we have is our German chocolate
God, that
yumminess.
looks so good.
And the second layer goes straight on top, and then do the same thing again. Now the third layer and last layer goes on top.
Oh, that's so nice and tall.
And again, I know, I love tall cakes. That's why I always have another layer in the freezer waiting for me.
That's really great.
Woo!
Oh, that's so
You
nice.
go all the way around.
That is pretty. It's like watching a painter working with a painter's knife.
It's looking great. It'll refrigerate for like 10 minutes, and then we can finish it up and we can party.
Great.
We can eat some cake.
All right,
Are you ready?
I can't wait. Yeah.
Okay. And the one thing I'm not good at with cakes is cutting a straight line through a cake. I think it's because I'm cutting into my cake that's upsetting me.
Right.
So I go sideways. Prayer.
Look how gorgeous.
You got it?
It's so beautiful. That swirl of streusel is amazing. I'm gonna taste this.
Yeah, get in there.
Oh, that's so good. This is amazing.
Well, thank you for baking with me because I always love to make a big tall cake for people I like.
Well, thank you for all the techniques. My cake baking is forever changed after learning these techniques. And I thank you for having us. Cheers.
Cheers.